relationship between questions and answers. How to categorize different types and levels of questions. From right there, think and search, the author and me, and on my own questions, as well as how the text does not have all the answers. QAR helps students consider both information from the text and information from their own background knowledge. If students are asked to create their own questions, QAR also extends their writing ability. How to explicitly teach QAR. Step 1. Introduce the strategy showing the relationship of the questions to answers. An enlarged chart of this can be hung in the classroom where students can refer to it. Step 2. Create QAR questions from small sections of text, no longer than 5 sentences, for each of the 4 levels. Using these questions, model how each level of the QAR questions can be identified and answered. Discuss the differences between questions using the class textbook and subject exam papers. Step 3. Give the students sample questions to answer in small groups and identify which of the QAR levels they used. Right there answer questions are usually found in the text, usually as a phrase contained within one sentence. On the other hand, the think and search, while the answer is in the text, the student is required to combine separate sections or pieces of text to answer the question. Author and me, as the answer is not directly stated in the text, the student draws on prior knowledge as well as what the author has written to answer the question. And on your own involves the student to think about what is already known for their reading and experience prior knowledge to formulate an answer. We will examine how QAR works with this practice passage. If we read the first question, did Tom like the idea of moving? Give 2 reasons to support your answer. Before we think about it, we should say to ourselves whether we think this is a right there question, think and search, author and me, or on my own. Now, seeing that the question asks us to give 2 reasons, it might be a good idea to take the hint that we might need to search for this important information. So if we skim through the text, we will notice that Tom and his family would be moving and that he hated the idea of having to move for the reasons of him leaving his best friends behind and his basketball team. And if we skim down a little more, we also notice that it's even worse because matters are worse because he was moving on his birthday. So these are the few different reasons that he doesn't like the idea of moving. While this is a think and search, it's best if we actually identify the strategy and write think and search and use our amber or orange highlighter so we can actually complement it with the think and search visual we use in our classroom. In this next question, it asks, does Tom like playing on the basketball team he has played on for the last 2 years? Now, while it does not state that he loved it or he doesn't like it, we do know from the author that Tom hated the idea of moving because he was leaving the basketball team behind. So from the actual information given by the author, we know how Tom feels, and we can deduct that he actually does like the team because he gave it as one of the main reasons why he disliked the idea of moving. While we're doing this, We can also write author and me, A-M, by the question to show that we've used this strategy, and also highlight that red. In the third question, how long has Tom lived in Marysville? We can see that we actually remember reading that as the first sentence. Tom has lived in Marysville his entire life. So we didn't actually have to go anywhere in the text. The answer is in one place and it's right there in the same first sentence. Because we know that the right there strategy highlights using the color green, and we can say that it's RT right there, and identify our strategy and our answer using the green highlighter. The last or the fourth question asks, in what ways can moving to a new house and to a new city be exciting? While the text doesn't mention anything about that, we can right away discover that it's an on my own question and get our blue highlighter ready to try to answer the question. Now, we're not going to find anything in the text, but we can highlight our question, blue, and write on my own, O-N-O-M, and we can actually come up with some answers about how exciting it would be to move to a new city.